Ladies and gentlemen, Rob, there he is. Mike's not wearing his bass. I can't find my headphones. It's like the wheels are falling up the wagon. Robbie, I need you to get the wheels back on the wagon and get this thing rocking to get this show started. Are you ready?
All right, guys, here's the deal. They have been trained not to come out until we sing this song. And you're going to sing it with me. Let's show them what awesome energy you've had all weekend long, Jacksonville. Let's let them hear you.
Jacksonville and the surrounding counties say a last panel of 2019 welcome to Mr. Jensen, Ackles, and Padalecki. Again, boys.
Hello. Hi guys. I just want to take this moment to announce something. One of the reasons that the show is no longer going to continue past April is really because of this. See, we've got work to do.
Can I be in your cabinet?
Yes. Can I be in your cabinet?
Yeah. I was going to say something that I'm not going to say.
I know, I'm not going there too. Again, work to do. That's,
Who's going to be the comptroller? What is the comptroller? Is there going to be comptrollers in here?
they're not nice people. They're people that troll comps. So it's, thank you.
I like the whole comptroller thing. We miss you guys. I miss you especially. I know I missed a few of you in DC. I'm sorry. Thank you for forgiving me. Happy to see you On that note, let's go ahead and get to the final questions before 2020. Winchester's for president. Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm great.
And excited.
I'm real excited. Okay, this is my first con, so I was pretty
Awesome, welcome.
excited. I'm not gonna cry. Okay. Just wanted to say, first of all, thank you, Jared. I've been dealing with depression for a couple of years, and it just really helps to know that somebody like you is outspoken about it.
Atta girl.
So thank you for all that.
Way to go.
My little sister is over here. She's a punk, but I really would love for you to say hi to her and that you love her.
What's up, punk?
Her name is Sarah.
Her name is who?
Sarah. She's over there.
Hi, Sarah. Are you a light? Are you a... Hi, Sarah. We love you.
Listen, I know all about the younger sibling being a punk, so that's
Because he is a younger sibling. It's true.
So my question is, season 15, episode 1. Dean is cleaning the wound of Sam, the god wound. Okay? He tries to...
Well, don't ruin it for me.
Yeah, spoiler alert, sorry. So Dean starts to tell Sam a knock-knock joke, but he doesn't finish it. I want to know what it is.
It was cut out for time.
yeah, it's a bit of a slow joke.
Yeah.
But it was knock knock.
Who's there?
Well, let me just there's a precursor joke that helps this joke make sense, and that's the one that we all know, which is knock knock.
Who's there?
Interrupting cow.
Interrupting.
Right? We're all aware of that one. This was the one that we opted for that didn't make the cut, and you'll see why. Knock knock.
Who's there?
Interrupting sloth.
Interrupting sloth here.
Thank you. To be fair, that actually wasn't at all. We just made all of that up. It was.
It was not written like that.
No, I think it was. Wasn't it a fart joke? Yeah, I was supposed to be like making fart noises or something like that. And I think we tried a couple of different variations that day just to see what worked, and apparently nothing worked. So they cut it all out. You win some, you lose some. But yeah, the knock knock joke I don't think had a punchline. It was just something. It was just something to distract him. Yeah. So.
Thanks, Sarah.
Yeah, don't get us telling knock knock jokes.
Oh, Sarah's over there. You're great. You're great.
Hannah. Hannah. Great. Hannah. Punk. Got it.
It was, she said, I'm great. I can't get that high. So great, punk, Hannah, Sarah. Welcome, all 40. Thank you.
Hi there.
Hi, my name is Angel. First, I wanted to say y'all were both wearing a bracelet still from the photos.
Oh, mine's in my backpack. Traveling home with me.
Yeah, mine's somewhere. Backstage.
So I wanted to know, how do you guys stay you when so many of us spend so much for just a few seconds of their time? Like, there's thousands of us here, and you guys do this several times a year. So how do you stay grounded? How do you stay you?
I think, we all have many facets to our personality. And I feel very comfortable and at peace being here surrounded by people that I support and that support me back. I feel like it's like going to a concert with other people who are fans of the same thing you're a fan of, and it's nice when it's reciprocal. So it's not difficult, you know, it's quick for us as well. We'd love to stay here for 365 days out of the year. We have kids and jobs and wives and dogs and blah and blah. And so it's a short amount of time for us as well. But that's just kind of the nature of the beast. But it's just nice to see smiling faces and to see some familiar faces and some new faces. So it's fun to explore this part of our lives with other people who have been a part of it as well.
Yeah, and I think what, you know, we both agree in the fact that, you know, you might think, I assume that what you're saying is like, with kind of this flood of appreciation or whether it's appreciation or adoration or whatever it might be, this love that is being given to us, we don't process that in a way that is like, you know, we're not trying to bask in what we think is great. I think we've come to find a way of processing that in a reciprocated way, to where when you're coming to us saying, you know, love the character, love the show, we're with you in that. So it is a mutual appreciation for something that is not us specifically, but is for this greater thing that is, you know, the supernatural show and the fandom and everything that the show has kind of created. And so we're kind of in here, we're in this with you guys. And so when you say, you know, people coming up to you and how do you stay grounded and stuff, you know, we kind of feel like we're part of this whole thing. And that there's not, I mean, yes, we're on stage right now talking to you about it, but we don't feel like we should be. You know, we don't feel like this is where we need to be. We just feel like this has given us a way to talk more about what we love. Plus, we also have very, very, very good friends that have been with us for a very long time that remind us how dumb we are. So, don't worry. For all the love that you guys give, they take it away immediately.
Thank you, Angel. Hi.
Hi. Okay, I was wondering if you could go back in time to when you went to audition for Sam and Dean, what you would tell yourself about the experiences that you've had so far.
That's a great question. I mean, there are funny answers and there are honest answers, and some of them overlap. For me, life sort of imitated art, and I don't know what was the chicken and what was the egg, and I don't know what came first anyway, so I guess it doesn't matter. But I think I kind of mentioned this before. When the show first started, the pilot, I was thrilled and excited, and then when it was announced that the pilot got picked up, and we had a lunch at Nobu in Manhattan after the upfronts, and people were like, okay, see you in Vancouver. We were like, what's Vancouver? Like, we didn't have any idea that, you know, we filmed the pilot like a 2-mile drive from where I just bought a house, where I had dogs and friends and stuff, and I was like, all right, you're getting shit. Like, Jared kind of went through what Sam went through. Like, wait, I'm doing what? Where? But I'm not prepared for this. Like, whoa, what about my friends and family and my room and my magazine subscriptions? Which was true, actually. I just spit. DNA. It's all right there. It's burning the carpet.
This is the splash zone, just so you guys know.
This is the Shamu sound. Fluids. That's a weird word to say. It sounded better in my
context. Yes, it's a weird word to say.
That is one of those there are words that, like, if you're ever in an elevator with people you don't know, there are some words you can say that will immediately freak out everybody. Next time you're in an elevator and there are people already in there, as soon as the doors close, just say, fluids. And then if someone glances at you, just give them dead eye contact. And watch them slowly go like this. It's a little nugget of knowledge. Hard one. Yes, long story short, I wouldn't have told young Jared anything, because I feel like I was able to experience some degree of what Sam was experiencing. I'm still learning tense. I was able to experience a little bit. Like anything that I did well in season 1 was kind of by default. So when Sam was like, I didn't sign up for this, that's just because Jared was like, I didn't sign up for this.
So, a lot of art imitating life back in the days. Yeah, I agree with Jared and what he would not have told. I don't think I would want to have told young Jensen that, hey, be prepared. This is going to be a 15-year commitment, and you can expect this and this and this and this and this. I kind of feel like that'd be telling you that, okay, enjoy the roller coaster ride. It's going to be exactly 37 seconds long. Here's a stopwatch. You can watch it, because then you're going to miss the ride. It's kind of like Forest for the Trees. It's kind of like could have missed the pain, or could have missed the pain, but I'd have missed the dance. So I think that there's the unknown was what made this such a beautiful ride, and continues to make it a beautiful ride.
Yeah, I would have told Jensen something. I would have told him this. I said, listen, dude, it's difficult. It's a long season. I know it's hard being out of the country, away from your friends and family, and you're going to want to take your hiatus and relax. But you're going to want to go ahead and film 10-inch Hero. I don't know why. But you should go ahead and do that movie. You'll understand later. Thank you.
You didn't have to. Went ahead and did that anyway. Yep. Met a girl, locked that down. Best move I made.
Hi, how are you?
Hi. My question is kind of a two-parter. If Sam and Dean had to be turned into a monster, which one they would choose, ignoring when Dean was turned into a vampire and a demon? And what creature would you guys choose?
If Sam and Dean had turned into a monster, I would vote for Dean to turn into Sam and Dean. The bow-legged fish. O-fin fish. Your fins are kind of, you have a leather jacket. You have a little fish impala, a fish pala. I guess I'd have to probably be a Wendigo or something, since I got the height. Thin man, yeah, something tall and goofy. I would love to play a shapeshifter. And shapeshift into somebody else, and then I'll have vacation. I always love the shapeshifter dynamic. Those are always some of my favorite episodes. So I'd like to be a shapeshifter. I don't know if that's kind of what the question was, but yeah. What about you?
A witch. If you think about it,
Wouldn't you be a warlock? What's the difference? Don't be sexist. Aren't male witches called something? Werewolves?
A warlord.
That's what I said. I said warlock.
A wizard.
A wizard.
They were.
He's already a wizard. Well, it depends. It depends.
Because you think about it, when we, vampires that we hunt, they're always in like shacks in the woods. Werewolves, they're living in like, these horrible, awful places. The only place that you find the only place you find like high-end hotel rooms and like living the good life are witches. It's like they figured it out. And I'll never forget, like we're in this like the basement of this really awful industrial park, and it's like it stinks, and there's asbestos and mold in just every corner of this place. And we're like torturing some poor soul, and one of our dolly grips, Shane, he's just like, why don't we ever torture anybody in a Four Seasons hotel room? I kind of feel like the witches would. Rowena's like, I'm not going to the basement. I'll be in the penthouse. Oh, yeah.
There was an episode we did, we had a young actor, and he was tied up to the chair, and he started with like a burlap sack on his head, or like a black sack, so he couldn't see. And I feel like he was a demon, or he knew something about a demon. Long story short, it was a hot day, it was hot on stage, and the poor guy kept, like he was nervous and hyperventilating for real, and he kept passing out. I know, yeah, so at first we were like, is he just getting really method?
Well, he just went out. Like he pulled his sack out, and like mid-take, he was just like...
And Jensen turns to me and he's like, this guy's really overacting.
This guy's out. Yeah.
Wow, milk it, huh, buddy?
Wow. Juilliard? I wouldn't have overcommitted like that, but good on you, Ben. Way to stick it out. Yeah, that certainly wasn't a penthouse hotel room. Yeah, anyway, there you go. And I guess we'll get back to you on the whole warlord, witch, wizard.
What's a warlock?
Fiasco.
There's evil, which is gender neutral.
There's different rules in different universes? What about this universe? Warlock? Wizard.
Warlock sounds cooler than wizard.
I'll be a wizard.
A wizard?
A warzard.
I smell a season 16. Hi, how are you?
Good. My question is, if you could watch your Supernatural highlight reel, what would be your top 3 moments or like character arcs?
Or character eggs?
Arcs.
Arcs. Oh, arcs. I like it. New Jersey?
I think it's Tallahassee.
Before you answer, it's nowhere in the US.
What?
Not US. I'm trying to speak neutrally.
Old Jersey?
Neutrally? I'm trying to speak neutrally. I think that might be Omaha.
No. A lot of people yesterday couldn't understand me when I was just...
Couldn't understand?
You don't say. Hey, Irish.
Yep.
What part?
Well, Dublin.
Dublin?
Oh. Is it magically delicious?
Have you ever heard Rob Benedict's Irish accent?
I was at the UK con and it's
great.
It's pretty phenomenal.
He's a better Chuck.
And that's debatable. All right, top 3 character highlight reel moments. Well, since we've got so few to pick from.
I can only think of 2. I would say I always liked finale of season 8.
Yes.
That's right. I was happy with the Ezekiel Gadville arc, and I really liked the Soulless arc.
Michael? Purgatory?
Yellow fever.
I don't know if that's an art.
There's an arc for me.
And anything with Charlie.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you.
Your Irish accents need work.
Our American accents need work, to be clear. Thank you.
Hey, I'm Vanessa from Miami. It's the first time. I know, what took me so long? I'm a teacher, sue me.
Scotland.
Duh.
I wish, that'd be great. More Miami Cuban accent, so.
Got some nugs going on.
Same area, it's Miami adjacent, so. My question kind of has to do with Sam and Dean are always, in the bunker, most likely, living together. It's two dudes. Sam is always working out. My husband works out. There's a lot of BO going in. Sam and Dean do this to, block out each other's, must.
Why would we want to? Oh, that's why. That's a good question. What we call a shower? Italian shower? Febreze? Febreze gives me a headache.
I'm gonna work that into it. Is it somewhere I'm just gonna have Dean splashing water on his face and then just picking up a thing of Febreze going.
Then later in the episode, Sam walks in and goes, yeah, I think by this time they probably, it's not the bunker I'm worried about, it's the Impala, because that's much smaller cubic footage of available oxygen. I didn't say it. Yeah, no, I know that voice. Yeah, I think we probably wash our clothes pretty quickly. But Sam works out outside. Yeah, Sam went for a jog. Found Eileen. So, and Dean doesn't work out.
I do, I just have a different routine.
Febreze. Dances.
Thanks.
Thank you. Wouldn't you like to know?
Okay.
Look up the 1980s Crystal Light Championship dance routines. Something like that.
For sure. Hi, how are you?
Pretty good. How about you?
Pretty well.
If you could have Sam and Dean meet any other character that you've played in movies or on TV, who would you choose?
Do Sam and Dean meet other characters? Like, does Sam meet a character that Jared has played?
Yes.
Okay. I didn't play Eric Brady. I mean Dean. So he could finally meet a Dean with amazing locks. So he could be a tall Dean. That's the gauntlet. You can say his hair sucks, but don't say he's not tall.
Well, so my hair does suck, but I'm not short. Can I say, I think if Sam and Dean were going to meet, and you said like TV characters, I think the obvious one would be the two broke girls.
No, that you play.
Oh, that we play? Again, two broke girls, I think. You know, one of us already has the hair.
And one of us is short enough.
It writes itself, really. Oh, okay, well I thought you meant like us characters meeting another characters from another show. And I'm like, perfect. Two waitresses who are down their luck? Done.
Alex.
Jason Priestley? I don't know, what did you say?
Actually, Dean.
But you've already played him.
No, that's what she said.
I'm going to need you to repeat the question in English.
Will you bring an Irish girl back to ask the question?
Yeah, I understood her better than you. What's happening?
See, if you could have Dean be any other character that you have played in a movie or TV, who would you choose?
Oh, well, I didn't hear that. I don't know why you didn't say that the first time. I would say Alec. Yeah, because I don't know if Dean would know what to do because he's like a genetically modified human. So is he a monster or is he not? And Dean's pretty clear about, you know, what's right and what's wrong there. So it's like, does he put him down or does he befriend him? There you go.
Thank you. Hi.
If you guys had to go back and start all the way from the beginning, which characters would you play if you couldn't play the Winchesters?
In the show?
Yes.
Okay, I want to make sure I understand this question properly.
For all 15 seasons.
If we could go back and play any other character other than the ones that we play on Supernatural,
And you couldn't play each other.
and you can't play.
Correct.
Does it have to be a character that lasted for a long time?
No.
Okay, it doesn't have to be?
No.
Go down.
I really enjoyed the arc that Sterling was able to play as Gordon. It was really neat because he was doing what he thought was, A, he's amazing, but B, I love that he came from being sort of a rogue fellow hunter to having to turn on the brothers, and it's kind of like one of the characters that also got to play a different version of himself. And again, I just dug the dynamic of a good guy kind of gone wrong. And I feel like he's one of the only kind of villains, so to speak, on the show that didn't become hated. Like, why is everybody after the boys? Because you know he had a great kind of vulnerable core to the situation he was put in. So that would have been a fun arc. That would have been a fun arc that I would have liked to have played if it was like a show that was going on and I was an actor that wasn't already on the show.
I always thought that we've had some really great, well-written characters and amazing, talented performers that have portrayed them.
We've also had Misha on the show.
And we've also had Misha.
Thank you! I'm out, guys.
Jared Padalecki, ladies and gentlemen.
heard that one. He just informed me that it was a pity rim shot. So I'll still take it.
Is it? Maybe not. I think there's a lot to choose from. I think it's really well written, and yeah, that was who I was going to say was Crowley. And what Mark did was fantastic, and you know, one of the probably the main reason why that character lasted as long as it did. But there was so much good stuff that they wrote for Crowley. It would have been a lot of fun to play that character. So there you go. Thanks.
Thank you.
Hi, my name's Ellie. Yesterday, Misha mentioned about the end of the show, knowing how it's going to turn out.
He doesn't. We lied to him. He's got a big mouth, so.
He didn't tell us. So. But he said he liked it because the point was that he liked knowing the ending, so he worked towards it. And I wondered if you felt the same way.
About him liking the ending?
About knowing it so that we can kind of tailor our performance towards that?
I mean, I have no reason not to take him at his word. I also think that he likes knowing the ending. Wait, will you repeat the question?
Yes, I like knowing the ending because it does give you that sense of having a goal, having a target in sight.
I don't feel like I'm working towards the ending in any way, shape, or form.
No,
but I do feel like I'm able to focus more on the episodes we're filming, not worrying about what the ending is going to be, and not worrying if it's going to do as much justice as would be possible to a 327 episode show that's been so much part of all of our lives. So I feel like when he and I found out the ending together, I sort of, digested it over a little bit, and I was like, badass, okay, that's good. Now I'm gonna go film a season of a TV show, So I wasn't like, oh God, I hope they don't F this up. So I was comforted knowing that I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think there's maybe a slightly greater sense of confidence in some of the bigger choices that we're making right now in the season, knowing where we're going and that choice won't be contradicted by how the show ends. In the past, we just had to kind of be faithful that the show would go somewhere that made these choices make sense. And I think that the writers and the directors and the editors and everybody involved kind of keeps an eye on that. But for us as performers, like sometimes we'll make a choice in a particular scene or a particular story arc that you don't really know where that's going to go. You don't know how that's going to end, and so you just kind of go off the faith that this will make sense. So I think we're having a little greater confidence. Not that there was insecurity in what we were doing before, but I think it's just a little bit more of a confidence of knowing that the decisions we make won't be contradicted by the ending of the show at this point.
Thank you.
My question is, if you were on a deserted island and you could bring your favorite cartoon, your favorite snack, and your favorite album, what would you bring?
Favorite cartoon? Man. I think I'm going with Garfield, because I grew up on it, or DuckTales, or Simpsons. Gosh, I guess Simpsons.
You gotta pick one.
Simpsons then. And favorite snack would be some sort of candy. Either gummy bears or sour belts or something. And favorite, what else? Album. God. I would probably go, oh gosh, that's tough.
Great Radio Company Volume 1 right there. Which is available in the merchandise room for vinyl for those of you who I do have Matt Cohen coming back here this afternoon to run through the fully naked this time. Keep your eyes out and your cameras up for that one.
That's difficult. Maybe Pearl Jam 10?
I would say cartoon. I'm gonna go with Thundercats. Snack. I'm gonna go with Goldfish. An album. Man. Yeah, I'm gonna sing that to myself though. I don't really need to bring that one along. Old Dick Jr. and the Volunteers. By the way, it's fantastic. If you guys haven't downloaded that one, check it out. There's some really good tunes on that one. I'll go with one that I have listened to front to back more than I thought I would listen to a recent album front to back. Because a lot of records these days, or a lot of albums these days, are not written as albums. They're to be listened to from track 1 through track 10 or track 12 or whatever it is. They're written for singles and single releases, and so it's more of a collection of songs that have been recorded as opposed to something that takes you on a bit of a journey, which is something that Steve and I tried to do with our album. But one that does that, I think, brilliantly and is contemporary is Sturgill Simpson's A Sailor's Guide. I think from front to back, you can listen to that constantly, and it's just this amazing written letter, essentially. And there's not a lot of artists, especially contemporary artists, that do that these days, and I really appreciated that, which is probably why I got inspired to do Volume 1 the way that we did. So, thanks.
Ready? Okay, hi, from Bessie, and Bessie.
Yeah.
Bessie, and Bessie.
Triple Bessies.
There they are.
The 3 Bs.
Yeah.
I had an Aunt Bessie. and
I had an Uncle Bessie.
Anyway, my question is, I know that Jensen has done some community theater in Austin. Sorry, my horse is hoarse. Anyway, in Austin. And
Dallas.
Fort Worth.
Yeah, Dallas, Fort Worth.
Sorry, and I wondered if either of you guys had considered after the show doing some community theater again.
I mean, community theater or Broadway, whatever it is. Theater is a whole different ballgame, and he and I haven't spent a whole lot of time on a theater stage, and it's a different beast. I don't know that that's right in front of me as far as things to do when the show's over, but I certainly would not count out an opportunity to do something like that again. It's quite an experience, and I would, if he called me up and said, "Hey man, this opportunity came down the pipe here, and they want me to go to New York and do a short run on Broadway or off Broadway or whatever," I would heavily encourage him to do it. I think it's an experience of a lifetime. It stretches your creative muscles, your actor muscles, if that's even a thing, in a way that doesn't really get work on a soundstage and in front of a camera. And I think putting yourself out there, he already has obvious stage presence. I think it would work very well. And again, I would say that, yeah, if I get an opportunity to do so, I would heavily consider it. So, thanks.
For both of you, kind has the other ever answered a question about his character in a way that surprised you or offered you new insight on Sam and Dean? And if there was a body swap episode, what would the title be?
There was a body swap episode. It was called Swap Meet. And the original version, he and I swapped bodies.
And then they were like, ooh, bad idea.
What was the first part of your question?
Has the other ever, and like for Jared, has Jensen ever answered a question about Dean that's in a way that surprised you or offered new insight on the characters, and vice versa for Jensen?
I see. Like, has his answer helped me with Sam, or helped me understand?
No, I think, have I given an answer at some point where you were like, oh, I didn't realize that that's how he was playing Dean, or that they gave you greater insight into what I was thinking and the choices I was making as a character?
Yeah, what Jensen
I see. I'm sure that he has, but I've learned more about Dean between action and cut. You know, there's a lot that I see of Dean that y'all have never seen and will never see. You know, for a 42-minute episode of television, I've seen Dean for hours and hours and hours and hours. And so I've seen a lot of, you know, we do scenes where we do take, you know, we rehearse it, we block it, it gets lit, then we hit our marks and do it, and one of us will be like, no, you know, I want another go at it, and alter this or alter that. And so I think he and I have both seen each other find what feels right, and sometimes you have to, in life and as a performance, as an actor, you have to kind of stretch the limits to find out where the limit is. You know, it's not until you cross the line that you figure out where the line was. And so we'll overcommit to something or we'll undercommit to something and find that little dance and then go like, okay, cool, here's the hum. And so I think he'll see some of my instincts that I build on the page before saying them out loud, and vice versa. So as far as the answers he gives, usually I kind of already know it because I see it, like I said, between action and cut. Yeah, I guess that's kind of how I feel about that.
Yeah, I don't think there's a lot. There's a lot that I don't at least anticipate him saying or doing as Sam or answering as Jared for Sam that would surprise me at this point. I think I understand Jared probably better than most people on this planet, and I also understand Sam better than probably anybody other than him. And so it would be it'd be rare for us to really surprise each other with choices that we make as characters or answers that we would give regarding our characters at this point. You know, he could probably read a scene and know exactly the kind of choices that I'm going to be making as Dean, and I think by now, and I think I could probably do the same. Like I know what Sam's voice sounds like coming through Jared. I know what that's going to sound like. I know I can hear him saying the words and you know the general choices that he's going to make. Now,
and as a matter of fact, still regularly, if we have a scene where he's in the Impala and I'm in the middle letters and we have a phone call, for the most part, we're not even there when we're doing it. Robin, our prop master on set, is just reading the dialogue, but I'm hearing in my head, I'm hearing the words. I already know what words are going to be said because I've read the scene and I kind of know both sides. But I'm hearing Jensen as Dean, I'm hearing Jensen's voice as Dean on the phone, even though it's our friend Robin reading it. He doesn't have to be there, and vice versa. So that's one.
That being said, I will say that even though I have a really good idea and understanding of how he's going to do a scene or how this scene is going to play out from Sam's perspective, I will say that we are now 15 years in, and he does still surprise me on how well he executes it.
Yeah, vice versa.
Hi. At this point, you guys have got to be the foremost expert on brothers. So, who do you think has it better? Older brother, younger brother, and how would the dynamic be different if there was a younger sister thrown in there?
Who has it better, an older brother or younger brother?
Right, and why?
Well, he and I are both older brothers and younger brothers in real life, and we both have an older brother and younger sister in real life. I think, gosh.
I think a lot of it depends on the counterpart.
Sure.
I think one of the reasons why, the Winchester brothers have such a great dynamic on camera is because of how they're written, because of characteristics that they possess individually. They're not the exact same character. You have a lot of siblings that are very, very similar to each other that would make the same choices in life, or that would make the same joke, or that would make the same decision in a scenario. But I think that the Winchesters, they look at things in through such a different lens that they complement each other in the ways that make it work so well. Sam is the analytical person and the thinker, and Dean's the reactionary person, and those balance each other. And I think that these two brothers balance each other in such a way that is dynamic and is interesting and is fun to watch. And so I don't know that there's a right answer to be one of those. I would just, I would say that you better be, it's good to have something that maybe your sibling doesn't have and that you can balance them out with. That, I think, makes an interesting relationship.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and probably piss off a lot of people in this audience. I think if it's a brother-brother situation, I kind of think the older brother has it a little bit easier. Just in that, I'm trying to think of like my sons. For a couple of years, Tom was my entire focus. Genevieve's entire focus. He was 100% of everything our life hinged on. So he had a lot of time. And then, a lot of people here have studied birth order. They kind of become a parent themselves. But by the time you have a second kid, it's like, the first kid drops a Cheerio and you pick it up and you dust it off and throw it in the garbage can. The second kid is like licking the bottom of the counter and you're like, it's Shep, he's fine.
I think there's a commercial out where like the first kid, they're bathing it, they're dropping the phone in the sink, and then the second kid, they got a hose, throws into the shower, and the guy's like, I got it, here, take the other one. That's very similar.
Yeah, this mud won't come off of Shep's arm. Baby, grab some bleach. And I feel like the middle child, in my experience, kind of has to blaze their own trail. My brother's a friggin' surgeon, college athlete. I wasn't going to try and fill those shoes, so I went to go to the theater, which is a lot of fun in Texas, just to tell your dad, as your brother's playing college sports, doing pre-med and engineering at the same time, when you say, Dad, I'm quitting sports, I want to be an actor. That goes about as well as you would imagine. Just kidding, I'm very happy that never happened. But I feel like the firstborn has a lot more responsibility, but gets benefit of the doubt a little bit more. That having been said, I'm also an older brother. I think the third probably has the most difficult, truth be told. Especially when you have two loud older brothers. Yeah, I don't know. I could be wildly incorrect. Self-analysis.
There's no right answer. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey there.
Hi guys, my name is Genevieve. Thank you for your time. So my question is, after playing the same characters for 15 years, normally actors get into acting so they can play different characters throughout their career. What were the deciding factors in saying, okay, we're going to keep going with these same characters for 15 years, or should we end the show earlier so we can see what other characters are out there for us?
Great question, Genevieve. That's a weird name. Speaking for myself, I've been able to play a lot of different characters on Supernatural, so that's been a blessing. But I got into acting to tell stories. I love stories. I love reading stories. I love watching stories. I love telling stories. I love being around the raconteur who just tells stories. And he's a great storyteller. Bob Singer's a great storyteller. You know, you have those people in your life that can talk about their weekend and you're like, this is going to be cool. Like, I want to hear. Like, it's exciting. Like, oh, they're droning on again about the drive. Like, I don't care. You know, it's like I watched Bill Murray read a telephone book. You know, like someone who can tell you a story. And that's the same thing about great art. You see a painting or something, and it tells you a story, or you imagine a story. Great music. So it wasn't really. If I played Sam Winchester for my entire life, I die happy. You know, as long as he had a story to tell. And he does have a story to tell, and he's telling that story. And maybe on April 5th, when Jared and Sam say goodbye to each other, hopefully it's see you later and not goodbye, you know? We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. So yeah, I'm really excited to tell the stories. I get to tell an overarching story, but I get to tell a lot of smaller stories concurrently. So I'm very thrilled to have had this opportunity.
I was talking about this a little bit earlier, and I think one of the reasons why, you know, he and I have stuck with this for as long as we have is, I think there's also a realization on both parts here of just how rare and unique this opportunity truly is. There's not a lot of shows that get to film 327 episodes. There's not a lot of shows that and even more rare, they get to shoot 327 episodes of the same two leading characters. And you know, the ones that do get into the triple digits and stuff, you know, tend to be more procedural type shows where they're following a formula that works and works very well. To constantly have constantly be creating new storylines and new character arcs and new characters and all new motivations and stuff, season after season after season after season, and so on. I think we quickly realized that we were kind of part of something special here, and that we had, you know, we've heard the metaphor of lightning in a bottle, and I just don't think he and I were ready to get rid of that anytime soon. And we were wanting to hang on to that as long as possible. And so we have, and we've tried to do it justice. We've tried to earn this as much as we possibly can.
Supernatural family, please say hi to Tess. Tess, where are you from?
Asheville, North Carolina.
Very, very cool. She's like, you love it. Apparently there's good beer in Asheville, North Carolina.
All right, then.
Wonderful. So you are our last question. So we're going to let you see what we have the awesome blessing and opportunity to see
Say hi
what
to
we're here.
everybody.
I don't want to put too much pressure on this moment, because I don't like doing that.
Yeah, you hate putting pressure.
Pressure is not my thing.
No, it's not.
But I think it's fair to point out that this is not just the last question for Jacksonville. It's the last question for the calendar year at the Supernatural Convention.
It's the last question of the decade.
Of the decade,
Of the decade.
Okay, no pressure.
So it should resonate throughout the years. I'm just saying it should matter.
Right, okay. And what is your question?
So this is, I really struggle with anxiety, and you guys always keep fighting it, which just meant a lot to me. So I was wondering, what do you guys do when things get hard? What do you do to push through, and how do you keep going?
Well, first off, that kind of bravery and courage to get up in front of hundreds or thousands. That was...
We like to find the ones that struggle with anxiety, bring them on stage and scare the shit out of them.
I think not only is that...
I'm so sorry.
That was my first step, was mentioning it. Honestly, that was my first step, was trying to find the courage that you found at a much younger age than I found, and stick with that. Mention it. There are people around you who love you and care about you. And you're here now, which means you're kicking ass. So keep kicking ass.
What do you do? What do you do when you're having a moment? Is there a
well, I've done a lot of
routine you go through? Is there you take a minute? Do you call somebody? Do you put on a song?
That's a question. I try to find people that I know and trust and love, and just reach out to, just talk about other things. I try and stay away from the news and from, there can be a lot of divisive things, but I just try and surround myself, and I've had a few things that I do, I'll go for a jog or something like that.
I know this, I'm going to bust him on this one. I know that I have gotten a call, and I've even gotten my door knocked on a few times, and I've heard 4 words come out of his mouth, and it's, I need a friend. So, whatever it takes, if you got to talk to somebody, you got to listen to some music, you got to go for a run, if you got to just sit and be with yourself for a moment, do that. And keep in mind, those that may not struggle as much as you guys with anxiety or depression or whatever it is, everybody struggles. Everybody needs to take a moment. Everybody needs to find something that helps them get on with their day. It's coffee for me. Everybody has something, and you're not alone. Please know that.
Let's hear it for Taz.
It got me, that threw me off the whole thing, aside from the whole, I would say, perfect ending, was in the middle of your van. You're like, is this the last question? I don't want to hear a goddamn question from any of you for the rest of the day. And I'm serious. Where did this just go?
Krista put her head out.
Put your stupid hand down. Yeah, that's the kind of warm, sort of family vibe. Yeah. We never said functional family. Exactly, we never said the family was functional. Like anyone you might have at home. Ladies and gentlemen, and I mean this, I want to hear a round of applause for the 2 gentlemen in front of this guy.
Time.
Yeah.
That was something.
That was.
Nice one, everybody.
Really good job, everybody.
Great job, band. We'll be back in a little bit, I guess. I should look at the schedule, but I assume we will be. I know for a fact. You know, what? I don't know. Hold on, let me find out.
We're going to find out what's
You guys
going on.
hang here. Don't leave, Steve. Don't leave, Mike. I gotta find out what's next. We never look.
This might be the last panel, dude. Holy moly. In that case, don't go anywhere, Mike.
We've got it.